What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm your host, Brian Kostiw, and today I'm coming at you again with another outstanding athlete interview for you guys. As you know, if you've listened to the show before, I love to talk with athletes from both amateur and professional status. And today I am once again going back to college football. Joining me on the show today is a senior wide receiver for the Bryant University Bulldogs. Over the course of his illustrious career, he's appeared in 37 career games and has recorded 86 receptions for 1,017 yards for 4 touchdowns across 4 seasons. So without any further ado, hailing from Everett, Massachusetts, please welcome the man himself, Mr. David Zorrilla. David, glad to have you here, man.
Glad to be here, dog. Let's start this thing out.
Absolutely, man. So first of all, I'm going to talk to you about, your Bryant career and everything involved with that. But to start things off, I kind of want you to tell me kind of how all this got started. How did you really fall in love with the game of football? Were there individuals? Was there a certain player? What got you really into it?
Okay, well, it started off in elementary school actually, where we would go out to recess. So like in my elementary school, there'd be like a parkway, I guess, or driveway. We'd go outside in the front and play football.
Okay.
So I'd be on the one side, and then there'd be like a thrower on the other side, far end. It'd be all a bunch of us, and he'd just throw the ball up as high as he could, and then I try to just reach up and grab it. I'd probably grab it like 9 out of 10 times, and then I remember, and then like that happened like every other day, and then I remember my guidance counselor coming up to my mom when she would pick me up. Oh, your son, he's actually like really good at catching the football. You should put him in sports. And unfortunately, football is a little money worth, you got to pay for it. So I didn't start playing football until I was, I think, 13 years old.
Okay.
8th grade, I should say, was like my first year playing football.
Okay.
So then ever since then, I just wanted to play, and I kept playing.
So you'd say you were kind of a natural from the very start when you got into it.
I guess you can say that. I was a little stiff, but I did other things other than football. So like that kind of like kept me away. Like I did like kung fu when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did band too. Like I played the drums. So I was a very active kid. My mom never let me like even play video games or stay inside the house. I was always active.
Yeah, I was about to say, as a fellow martial artist, I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the grind with that.
Yeah,
but
of course.
So once you did get involved with football at 13 and then got into everything like that, who were some notable individuals that you could really attribute some of your success to? Are there some coaches, some mentors, some players who really kind of do you kind of credit some of your success to?
One person, one coach. First of all, my mom.
Yeah.
She's always believed in me since day one. If she says, "Oh, you wanna play football, go play football, go chase your dreams." But if we're talking about a coach, one coach that actually I do have in mind, his name is Coach Victor.
Okay.
It was my freshman year of high school, and I'm telling you, I had the worst hands on the team. I dropped like 3 or 4 open touchdowns the whole season, and every single time, ever since the first one, he's like, "You have no hands, you stink," blah blah blah. And I took that kind of personal, like, yeah. And so like I was like, damn, like that's kind of messed up. He was a big fat dude talking, so I was pretty upset. And I obviously, like, okay, I caught the first touchdown, like, but it was only a freshman game. And then after that, that summer, I just remember me and my younger brother, who was probably like who's 4 years younger than me. So at the time I'm 16, he's 12, throwing the ball, like, and I'm catching the ball one hand here, 2 hands, everything. And I was just working, like I just really worked that summer after freshman year.
Yeah. I mean, so obviously putting in the work and, developing over the course of high school, it happens for some guys a little bit later. Personally for me, I've talked with some guys that have gotten drafted to the MLB, and is like, and for example, this guy, Sean Burke, I talked with, he said, at the age of 9, he was hitting balls out of like a big league fielder and just doing incredible things on and off the field. And he was like, yeah, I knew from kind of the beginning things where I was going to be able to go D1 and have a career like this. For you, when did that kind of come about where you realized, okay, I might have a shot to play Division I football and actually have a kind of a, be able to grow my career beyond high school?
It was kind of hard for me, honestly, because in high school, I really didn't play as much. I would say like I probably only got like 10 snaps a game, maybe even less sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. So it was harder for me because everyone knew like in high school, like, okay, I was really like, I was good. I'm not going to say I was bad. Like, I'm not going to say I stunk, but like, I was pretty good in high school. Unfortunately, our team, also had Division I players. Yeah. One receiver, Zach Coles of Carolina, who's probably a draft pick, second round draft pick, tight end right now. Another one's at BC. another one. Two of them are actually playing in the playoffs this January 1st, I think it is.
Really?
Michigan and Georgia. One's the safety, one's the receiver.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was like it seems like impressive, but it was pretty tough. But like, I love those guys to death. I grew up with those guys, and they taught me a lot, and I taught them a lot, and we all just grew up playing together. So it was really hard to get like a recruitment process going, I guess you could say. So junior year was when I was like, damn, like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to transfer this and that. But, I just stuck to it. I went to camps, and gladly enough, I got my first offer here at Bryant, just going to camp. And then every other camp I went to, they said, we want to offer you this and that. You look good. You can run, but you have no film to show us, like, you can play football.
Okay.
And like, like I said before, like I take things personal, and I keep it in my heart and my mind. So I was like, damn, like, it's really like that. Like, I can't even like get an offer, even like beating kids, like just one-on-ones, like in your face. So it was really hard for me to, like, I guess you could say, bloom, like, or like show people I can play. The first time me actually like feeling like I can play was this past spring season.
Yeah.
It was only 4 games. Obviously it wasn't a career year as I had this year. Thank God. But it showed people, oh, okay, this dude can play. Like he can play some football. But so yeah, I want to say, like, even in high school, it was like really hard to just show people like I can play football.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing though. This was something I wanted to touch on later, but because you brought it up, you obviously, you talked about the career year you had this year, and, off the charts. I mean, I was looking at your numbers coming into today, and, on your year by year was like, I think you had like 131 year, 150 in your sophomore year. Obviously in the short year, you had 98 yards, and it, over a short span of games, that looks, kind of promising for, a small sample size. And then this year you had 623 yards just out of nowhere, was multiplied your stats, by times 6. And I'm like, where did this come from? Like, what led to all like this just amazing kind of, senior season for yourself?
Well, obviously it starts with like just working hard.
Yeah.
I took this off season.
What did you do differently though?
So like I said before, I take things personally.
Yeah.
And this spring season, honestly, my sophomore year and this past season was just like, like, we can have a quarterback. I can make all the excuses the way I want. I can have a quarterback. We can't have a quarterback. We don't have an offensive line. We only run the ball. We don't have a passing game. But honestly, like, those excuses, like, just put them aside. I just said, F that. I just want to work hard. So what I did, like, after that COVID season, I took obviously some time to rest.
Yeah.
And then I just, once my body was healed up, I took pride in working out. I just did everything 1,000% more than what I could.
Absolutely.
And I really wanted, it just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to like be mediocre. My receivers coach tells me there's a difference between mediocre, good, great, average, and good, average, great, and elite.
Yeah.
He said I was in that good, great to average receiver. And he said, what can you do to be elite? And I said, I want to be elite. So that's the step that I took when I was working out this summer. I just did all that I could. I stayed here. I didn't want to go home for other distractions.
Really?
So I was here all summer. We had a group of guys come into a bunch of my teammates, and we all just, grinded out, worked hard. I worked on my craft. I worked on catching the football, and yeah.
I mean, staying here over the summer and, doing all that stuff, that's quite the commitment for yourself to, finals end up closing out. Everyone's going home for the summer. The campus is being vacated. And I don't know, for me personally, whenever finals is over, I'm ready to get the heck out of here. I'm like, peace out. Like, I'm gone. So to stay around with those guys, did you kind of have a feeling that you were like missing out and kind of enjoying like being in your 20s, doing all that stuff that, a normal kid your age would do? Or did
yeah, of course. Like, obviously I want to go out with my teammates or even my friends who aren't football or aren't athletes, I should say. Yeah. And just go out, just have fun. Listen to music. Yeah. Walk around the beat. Like, this is all that regular people do, but
exactly.
Like I want to say, like, I have a goal. Like, I'm not saying it's like a bad thing, but I just, like, there's some things like I would sacrifice in life just to, like, just to be good at like what I do and like to reach my goal, because I know later in the day, if I do reach that goal and I do hopefully, make a lot of money, I can bring those people who I sacrificed for with me and do a lot of fun things after that when my career is over.
Absolutely. I mean, just to show that kind of dedication, it really does. It is what separates the great guys from the elite guys. So the fact that you're willing to put that in, especially at this age, it does show that kind of drive and competitiveness. What I guess I have to ask is, you were talking about putting in the work, doing all that stuff, and really working for a lot of the success you've had today. And during college, it's kind of had to be where you've had to kind of put your nose to the grindstone and really work for it.
Yeah.
But what I kind of want to know is, during this process, what has been maybe the biggest obstacle for you so far, throughout your time here at Bryant? It could be an injury that you sustained at one point. It could be, some coaches doubting you, like that coach that you were talking about early on in your career. What would you say is probably the biggest obstacle that you've had to face over the course of your football career?
Well, it was just like, it's hard to say because I've been through a lot. I'm not gonna lie, being an athlete, like make sure keep your head up, mental health. If you need to talk to someone, go talk to someone. That's the first thing I need to say. Second off, I think going in high school was probably the hardest like moments or like time of my life. Yeah. Just because it felt so like I felt so downgraded, not being able to be on the field, like not to show people like I can play football. Like I know we talked about this before. Yeah. But like when your mom and family's in the stands, like, and you're just like, damn, like she's up there, but I'm not out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like being on the bench, like it's really, really, really hard for an athlete, especially when like you can play. Like
and then when you do get on the field, it's like, oh shoot, I only have like 10 snaps to really impress my family, impress the coaches, and do all that stuff. It's craziness.
Yeah, it's not even like an impression. It's just like it's like a more of a self-respect thing. Like you just like like I know like I could do like so much for the team. Yeah. But like I know my role, like it is what it is. Yeah. And things happen, and honestly, like it's the path I chose to take. It's a sacrifice I made so like I wouldn't leave. Like who knows? Like obviously, who knows? Like if I did leave, who knows if I'll be out of Alabama right now? Like it is what it is. Though I love where I'm at right now. I love the path that I took. Yeah. And so like I guess like that's one of the things. Like just after the game, hey Dave, it's okay. You guys won. We were winning a lot, so I ended up with two championships. One my junior year, one my senior year.
That's awesome. Man.
I did.
You guys got to play at Gillette?
Yeah, we did actually get to play at Gillette at my senior year. That was a good experience.
I've been to a state championship game there. Did not play. I mean, look at me. I didn't play in that state championship game. My friend John did. I mean, getting to witness them win it there, that had to have been an exhilarating feeling for you guys.
It was I remember after we won, a bunch of my teammates, including me, which is because in the stands, it was like the Everett fans, and then the Zavarian fans. And we just run up, like we jump up to the stands and we are hugging everyone, hugging my family. So it was a good time.
That is awesome. Yeah. Man.
But that was the only good part about like being there. It was just like we were winning, and I did grow up with those guys. I'm not gonna lie. And like practices were honestly like were fun. Yeah. Because it was like the first defense. I didn't get a lot of snaps on offense for practice, but I did get a lot of snaps for like it was like a scout offense. So I would help the defense prepare for the opposing team. Yeah. And that's what I did. And like my receivers coach back then was like, you're not getting a lot of snaps in a game, so we got to treat this like this is your game. Yeah. So that's really where like I improved my craft. I did like all these one-handed catches or catching over people, and that's really where I like would say like brought me or like the player I am today. That is why I am the player I am today, because of all those scout team.
I mean, those one-handed catches definitely paid off. I saw some in your highlight tape this year, so those definitely did end up contributing to some pretty sick plays down the line.
Thank you.
But I guess once coming here, you've had many memories throughout college now, and you've had some greater success later on throughout your Bryant career. In your mind, what would be some of your favorite memories that you've had over the course of now being a Bryant Bulldog and being here at Bryant University?
As an athlete, or just as like a student in general?
Give me some of both.
So as an athlete, I guess my one moment I will remember for the rest of my life is scoring my first ever touchdown, like career.
Yeah.
Like I didn't score in high school.
Really?
Yeah. And I was only getting 10 snaps a game and we were winning by 50 every game.
Yeah.
So it was my freshman year, first game. I'm starting. First time he's starting. I started on kick return.
Okay.
And I remember I had to get my one guy, and Gene Kostiw was the kick returner, and he had scored the first play of the game. He scores for 98-yard touchdown or whatever. Oh, like 96 or whatever. Yeah. It was a long touchdown run.
Wow.
And so that happened. And then I think it was our first drive of the game too. Yeah. We start off at like the 10-yard line, our 10-yard line, and we drive down the field halfway. And then obviously the ones are getting tired. I'm a 2 at the time. Yeah. And so we start at the halfway mark at the 50. And I remember us driving, but every time we drive, get 10, 15 yards, it'd be a flag, a holding call or whatever. So we get back. So we drive down to 15 and like I have a post route. Mm-hmm. I have like a post route and Price Wilson, who was at the time the quarterback, threw me the ball and I see another flag.
Oh no.
I score. But I see the flag, so I'm thinking, another flag. We're gonna bring it back. I give the ball to the ref. One of my ex-teammates, who's not here right now, goes, "Zorrilla, you scored." I was like, "What? You scored?" I didn't even know I scored.
Oh my god, man!
So that memory right there, even just that whole game, I was just like, my family was there. Everyone, oh my god, Dave, you played a lot. I've never seen you play this much. It's like. Oh my God. Like I just remember that. It was so heartwarming. And I just wanted to make everyone proud and show everyone that I could play football.
Yeah. And then I guess as a student as well would be something that is like impression that kind of still resonates with you.
I'd say getting my first A on a test.
Really?
It was right before COVID. Okay. Right before it was my sophomore year, right before spring break. Yeah. I was taking a management test. And professor calls me up, David, did you cheat on the test? I said, no, why would I cheat? Like you saw me. And he says, well, you got a 9, I think it was like a 90 or 91. He was like, I'm very proud of you because the first exam you took was pretty bad. It was like a 54.
Oh, geez.
That was my first ever A in the class and on a test. I was always a B kid.
Okay, yeah.
Not wrong. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I told my Mom, I got a 90. I told my academic advisor, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. And that was just like a very happy day.
Yeah. So that's obviously a great memory to have as well. I mean, I know that there were definitely some tests here that I've bombed my fair share of as well. So I definitely can relish in the fact of when you get that A. And
I definitely,
that's awesome. I mean, putting in that work, it obviously does feel good. I guess another memory that, you were kind of telling me about beforehand, I don't know if it's something that started with your teammates, but what is this whole lemonade thing that you were you were mentioning it to me? So there's like this whole thing. So kind of get into that with me. What is this?
Okay. Well, it was when I was in high school. Yeah. Me and my best friend, Cordell.
Okay.
He went to Ever High.
Yeah.
And then he had transferred because, it was the same situation with me. He played quarterback and then he played receiver. So he wanted out of there. He wanted to play. Mm-hmm. So he leaves. He goes to another school. And then I remember one time I think he posted on his Snapchat the Jay-Z song. The lemonade is so popular drink and stuff. And then
the All About remix.
Yeah.
All the way up remix rather.
And then he texts me. Posting your story, lemonade's a popular drink. I was like, what
does that even mean?
I was like, what? I say the same thing. I said the same thing what everyone else says. What does that mean? I was like, it's just do it. Like, just do it. And so I posted on my story. He was like, I wasn't even a big lemonade guy back then. I wasn't like, I don't know. Like, and then one time we would hang out. He would always drive everywhere. Yeah. We would hang out. Oh, I got to go to the store. I'm going to get a lemonade. What is it with the lemonade? So I was like, you know what? He's like, just get one, dude. Just get one. So I got one. And then like, it just started like going and
became
going.
Like part of your personality.
Yeah. It just kept going and going and going. Like I would go to the store, lemonade. And it was just like, what the, and then, we both just kept saying it. We both put it everywhere. Post, lemonade's a popular drink. Lemonade's a popular drink. And it was like, yo, what is good with the lemonade? Relax. Like it's part of me. Like I think.
I mean, it's in your Instagram bio. Like still, I'm like, I was like, that isn't old music quote. What is going on with that?
So I think like I see it as like it's like a part of me, and I think of it as, it's our thing.
Yeah.
We have a really good bond, me and my
That's
best
awesome.
friend. We've grown up together. He's actually like one of the people who honestly helped me improve my game too. Like
That's awesome.
when I wasn't playing football, I was playing flag football. So I was always like I said, I was always active, and
yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, I'm glad that you're able to have that kind of a relationship. So before I do go with you, I just want to ask, and I ask this to all the athletes that I have on this show, and it's basically that whatever happens with football, you could play another year, you could go to you could go to the NFL. Anything could happen with any guy playing football, but eventually it does come to an end, unfortunately, for all athletes. What I want to ask you is, when that day does come, whether it's a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whenever that day is to come for you and you have to hang up the cleats at the end of the day, what in your mind is something you want to do after athletics?
Well, I mentioned it before about the mental health.
Yes.
And I understand that athletes do go through things and they do not want to talk about it and they're down about it.
Yeah.
So I do want to go into that field of work where I am able to help athletes overcome and go through that dark place so they don't go to a place where they make bad decisions in their life, or maybe even have to take time off of football or whatever sport they play.
Yeah.
So that's really what I've been looking into recently, because we all go through that, down that dark place that we don't want to go to. Absolutely. And it's very saddening that people do take their lives, and that's what we don't want in this world. So I that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to help improve in the country.
That's amazing, man. I hope you do get to do that. So David, obviously, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a blast, but we are unfortunately down to the wire, which means that we're going to wrap up what we talked about today. So obviously we had David Zorrilla on the podcast today to talk about his football career, everything that has led him to this point in his Bryant career. And obviously, man, it was a great time having you on the pod today. I really appreciate talking with you. But if you guys are not falling down to the wire at this point, what the heck are you guys doing? You can follow us on all streaming platforms, from Spotify to Apple Podcasts to Google Podcasts to YouTube. But the main hub you guys can reach us on is our Instagram. You can follow that at down.tothewire on Instagram. Again, at down.tothewire on Instagram. David, once again, man, thank you so much for coming on. And from Down to the Wire, I'm Bryant Kostiw.
I'm David Zorrilla.
And we hope you guys have an amazing day. Take care. Peace out.